In part one, we saw that on the eve of the Second World War, 53% of the population of Siemiatycze was Jewish. The town was captured by the Wehrmacht on the 11th of September 1939, and almost immediately the terror started with intimidation and bullying of the population. In accordance with the Nazi-Soviet alliance, Poland was divided into two and Siemiatycze was to be annexed to the USSR. As a result, on the 20th of September 1939, it was handed over to the Soviets. What happened next was a period of theft of private property and mass deportations into the interior of the Soviet Union. However, the Nazi and Soviet allies were to fall out. The German-Soviet demarcation line lay only about 4 kilometers away across the Bug River. On the night of Saturday the 21st of June 1941, there was a dance in the town. German border guards were reportedly present, an eerie detail given about what was about to happen. This was the shortest night of the year. In this sector, at around 4 in the morning of the 22nd of June 1941, Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, its surprise invasion of the Soviet Union. In Siemiatycze, the lights went out. People panicked, collided in the darkness and ran home. What the German border guards did at that moment of the invasion, I don't know. But within roughly an hour, German units were already entering the town. Some Soviet officials had evidently anticipated an attack. Certain personnel had been evacuated earlier. The first local casualty is recorded as being Yankel Dum, killed during the bombing of the town. Within days, mass murder followed. On the 23rd of June 1941, German forces shot the 13-member family of Yankel Tykotsky, a photographer from Siemiatycze, in the nearby village of Wiercin, about 20 kilometers north of the town. As elsewhere, the Wehrmacht's arrival was followed by security forces and killing units, which worked through terror and mobilized local hostility. Pogrom-like violence was encouraged, and hooligan elements were used to loot, beat, and humiliate Jews. On the 29th of June 1941, Jews were herded to the market square for a public execution. 7 men accused of communist activity were shot. Amongst those killed were Shimon Grunberg and his son, Israel Sokolonsky, and his son, and others included Misha Boysch and Josef Fish. In early July, for several days, looting and assaults intensified. Shops and apartments were plundered, Jews were attacked and robbed. On the 10th of July 1941, the occupiers staged a spectacle in the market square. Jews were ordered to smash the Lenin monument, which had been recently built during the Soviet occupation, while a Jewish schoolteacher named Kogut was forced to deliver an anti-Soviet speech. During this event, Jews were assaulted again. In the chaos, the glazier Kusodovich drowned in the Kamionka River. Once German administration stabilized, Siemiatycze became the seat of an Amtskommissariat within the larger district structure linked to Bielsk-Podlaski. The mayor was a man named Beckman. The local Schutzpolizei was commanded by Hermann Reschke and the gendarmerie by Otto Dommersdorf. Around the 10th of August 1941, German authorities create a Judenrat, a Jewish council of 12 under the leadership of Israel Rosenzweig, with named members including Shimon Tsepilevich, Pesach Steinberg, Lazar Schuster, David Grushkin, Mordechai Grushkin, Levin Rosenzweig, J. Kogut, Raphael Kirschenbaum, David Werner, and Kalman Shevts, amongst others. The Judenrat office was located in a building belonging to the Sukerman family on the market square. A 12-man Jewish police force was also formed, headed by Alec Weinberg. For a time, Jews were still allowed to remain in their own homes until July 1942, but under an increasingly degrading regime. Homes had to be marked as Jewish dwellings, in addition to the compulsory yellow stars on clothing. Jews were forbidden to walk on pavements and forced to walk in the road. Movement restrictions tightened. Those not assigned to work were permitted outside only during limited hours, commonly between noon and 2 p.m. A measure of the contempt built into the system is preserved in an official notice posted in the town on the 15th of March 1942 and signed by Mayor Beckmann. Its first rule stated that it is forbidden for Jews to speak to Germans from the Reich. Beckmann's personal role in persecution also appears in local testimony. On one occasion, he forced Jews to clean public toilets in front of a crowd. On another, he drove Jews into the market square and ordered them to throw stones at each other. Forced labour was organised via the Judenrat under German orders. Jews worked in tailoring and shoemaking workshops on the estate at Czartojewo and in cleaning rubble and in cleaning the town. A rare surviving photograph shows Jews working at the bombed town hall, an image preserved by the local photographer Antoni Nowicki, and notable because so little visual documentation from Siemiatycze itself has survived. In June 1942, preparations began for a sealed ghetto. The Germans told the Judenrat that living space would be absurdly small. Figures given in testimony indicate roughly 1.1 square meters per person. Jewish petitions to increase space were ignored. At the turn of July and August 1942, the ghetto was created. And from the 1st of August, it was fenced and people were forced inside. It was located in the Zamość district around Koszarowa, Wysoka, Górna and Słowiczinska streets, enclosed by barbed wire with a few controlled passages. Polish Catholic residents living inside the designated zone were relocated elsewhere, often into Jewish apartments outside of the ghetto. The ghetto was not limited to Jews from Siemiatycze. Jews were also brought in from Drochocin, Mielnik, Nożyce, Grodzisk and the surrounding villages. Overcrowding was extreme. Witnesses recalled rooms filled with bunk beds with multiple people sleeping on each. Where there were insufficient buildings, people lived in sheds, huts, barns and dugouts near the cemetery. While the ghetto remained open in the sense that some food supply was still possible, daily repression was constant. Accounts describe humiliations such as mass shavings of men's beards, including the rabbis, an act carried out under duress by a barber named Schinner. The Siemiatycze ghetto existed in this form for about 3 months. In part 3, I will look at the liquidation and deportation to Treblinka. Thanks for listening. I upload every day at 2000 hours. That's 2000 hours my time, as I live in Poland and in Germany. I also offer channel membership, which costs £5, €6 or $6, and that gives access to more than 800 videos which are for members only. My specialization is in the Holocaust, although there's videos on many other subjects related to the Second World War on this channel. You should find links below to the first and third parts of this video on Siemiatycze. For the moment, thanks for listening. Bye for now.